Anders Behring Breivik is the killer in Norway that killed up to, according to the latest reports, 93 people, including 85 on an island where they were doing a young get-together camp for the ruling Labour Party, and they were trapped on an island, and he had dressed as a police officer. He thought that that would be shock them. I guess they would. I mean, what kind of unbelievable person thinks that it's cool to shock little kids as he shoots them and kills them? Like, oh yeah, you got him. Boy, you're such a genius, right? And they were on an island and they couldn't run anywhere. They couldn't go anywhere. And so, along with the bombing in Oslo, it looks like so far he's killed at least 93. They say it might go up to 98. It is in fact believed to be the deadliest attack by a lone gunman anywhere in modern times, which is a stunning fact. And he thinks that Norway was suffering from cultural Marxism. I don't know what that means. I don't know that anybody knows what that means. But he thought that he had to, of course, address it and that he had to change it. And he says that it was, he understands that it was atrocious, but he thinks, quote, it was necessary. Now, there are so many stunning facts about this. First of all, can I just say Norway has punishment that is the harshest possible punishment you can get in Norway is 21 years. Not nearly enough. If someone I knew died because of this guy and he's only going to get 21 years after killing at least 93 people, oh, hell no. They got to change that law. That is way too lenient. He wanted a crusade, he says. He liked guns and weightlifting. And he had a lot of web postings. Here's a couple of his quotes. He says, before we can start our crusade, we must do our duty by decimating cultural Marxism. He also says, once you decide to strike, it is better to kill too many than not enough, or you risk reducing the desired ideological impact of the strike, which goes to show you how absolutely crazy he is. What's the ideological impact? I don't understand what these guys ever look for. He says that it's a drop, but that it could turn into a downpour. A downpour of what? Like, who looks at you and thinks, oh, he killed all these innocent, defenseless kids, and hence we will support him? Obviously, only a lunatic can think that. But we go further into his crazy ramblings. He had a manifesto, and he also had a 12-minute YouTube video that he posted right before he did this. He says, some innocent will die in our operations as they are simply at the wrong place at the wrong time. Get used to the idea. The needs of the many will always surpass the needs of the few. That's why, of course, that's what all the lunatics say. By the way, here comes the quirky stuff. He says in one portion online of his, profile that when they ask, how would you describe yourself as a person? He says, I consider myself to be a laid-back type and quite tolerant on most issues. Apparently, except the ones you do massacres on. So it's amazing how people perceive themselves despite overwhelming evidence. Under what sports he watches. He says, only women's sand volleyball. That's curious. Okay, now, he had, in his manifesto, he had notes for what to do before you do this type of killings. And it is amazing. He says, prepare for a photo session because you need to do marketing before the fact so that you can have pictures to put up, you can have your manifesto and your videos ready. But before the photo session, you have to get ready by doing these things. Take a few hours in a solarium to look fresher. Wow, get a nice tan. Train hard, work out at least 7 days prior to the photo session. Not so you could be in shape for the killing, but you could look good in your photo. You see, this is what I tell you all the time about these mass killers. It's all about vanity. They all just want to be famous. The ideology is nonsense. The guy's going to get a tan. He's going to work out so he looks good in his photo session. He says, cut your hair, shave, visit a male salon if possible, and apply light makeup. That's fascinating. He says, yes, I know this might sound repulsive to a big badass warriors like us. Yeah, I know, like you. But we must look our best for the shoot. let's pause there for a second. You think killing innocent kids when you have guns and they don't is a badass warrior? I'm not surprised you're putting on makeup ahead of time, because all you care about is your own vanity and how you look. Now, whether you look good in makeup, that's a different question, man. But that's all these guys care about. That's why they're so grotesque. Finally, he says, use your best clothing. You can, for example, bring 3 different sets of clothing to the shoot location: dress, tie, etc., casual wear, sporty wear, and militaristic wear. But he reminds his fellow nut jobs, don't bring your guns because they might investigate you. Really. All right. Now, this goes to show you what a lunatic this guy is. Obviously, you can see that from his actions, right? But he has a certain ideology, and the ideology, in his case, is Christian fundamentalism. He thinks he's part of the Knights Templar. He thinks Islam is on the rise, and he's got to fight back.